Good evening. We'll get the answer to whether they'll be the champions or not on the big match tonight as we cover Liverpool's match against Tottenham. And that develops into quite a game. Also Southampton against Luton Town and the goals from that vital relegation match between Sunderland and Birmingham.
The big news of the night, Brighton skipper Steve Foster is out of the FA Cup final after being booked at Notts County. Fulham go down once again, but Leicester fail to take full advantage, and another London team's promoted as Wimbledon go up from the 4th division.
And a real bonus tonight, the 12 best goals of the season on the big match. That's a prelude to our Golden Goals competition. But first, let's get across to White Hart Lane, where both sides, in fact, have got plenty to bite on. Spurs needing a win to keep their European hopes alive. Liverpool still requiring 1 point to make absolutely sure of that championship.
Well, if you had to put your money on anybody being steadfast enough to earn you the point that Liverpool need, Phil Thompson would probably be your man. Even though this is only his 3rd game since he damaged an ankle last December, and Phil comes into this Liverpool side that's been hit by international injuries in midweek. Sammy Lee bruised an ankle in England's cause on Wednesday night, and Ronnie Whelan suffered a groin strain playing for the Republic of Ireland in Spain. But Ian Rush, who came off during the Welsh victory over Bulgaria, is fit. Steve Nicol is the sub. Spurs, like Liverpool, have something to play for. They've pushed themselves towards a place in Europe next season, and they can field the side that won at West Brom last week. So the good news is that Glenn Hoddle, who played his first full league match for 3 months in that game, is in action once more. The referee is Maurice Robinson of Sutton Coldfield, and the last trip as Liverpool manager to London for Bob Paisley. Yet 48 years ago, he tells me, he came here for a trial with Durham schoolboys and was rejected. Now, the course of Liverpool football history might have been changed if he had come to the capital. So in beautiful conditions, Spurs get us away, attacking the goal to our left in white shirts. Just one only of their last 8, coming here in 6th place. The pitch looking absolutely perfect. I credit to Gareth and everybody who works with him at the tail end of a long season. And an injury there for Phil Neal in the opening seconds of the game. Well, Phil Neal is okay to go on, but Ronnie Moran had a good long look at that injury. Galvin taking it. Had gone up, stayed up, found himself a useful position, but also finds himself now surrounded by Liverpool defenders. Roberts towards Archibald. Now Gleish's header going straight to Roberts, and now for Perriman. Hoddle again. A lovely turn. That time it fooled Kennedy, and the ball finds Brazil. Archibald with the shot. And Hoddle doing a lot of good work in these opening minutes in the midfield, and Archibald left with a shot on goal after a little touchback from Alan Brazil. O'Reilly. Hoddle. Oh! Well, he's clearly in the mood, and he might, in some terms, be a forgotten man at the moment with England in mind, but there's no doubt at all about it that Hoddle sees today as a chance against this sort of opposition to show people he's still around. Perriman. Hoddle. Nice change of mind there by Perriman, and it worked well as he found Miller. And a good ball played in by Miller for Perriman. On for Archibald. Again, Liverpool defending really well on the edge of their own penalty area. Now Mabbott. Brazil watched, but beaten by Thompson, and in the end, soon is just getting it back to Robillard. First time that Brazil has had any great joy out of Phil Thompson. He turned him well, and Thompson for a moment was lost there. But Robillard was able to stop it and get the return from Soos. Well, he picked out Perriman beautifully. Towards Mabbott. And now for Brazil. For a moment, Robillard was missing. And if anything, I think Brazil snatched at it a little more quickly than he needed to. And for Liverpool, no harm done. Souness, Dalglish, Rush. Now Hansen. And offside. Perriman. Round rush. Like a 2-year-old that time, Perriman. Now Brazil. Now, can Archibald get on the end of this? Oh, for a moment there was a misunderstanding between Grobbelaar and Hansen. And the ball could so easily have fallen for Archibald. Chipped in by Brazil. It would just clipped off the head of Souness. A slight mix-up there before the keeper grabbed it. Tottenham throw. Ball for once, if not exactly catching Liverpool out in defence, giving Galvin just a yard or so. And Grobbelaar pawing it away for the Tottenham corner to be taken by Glenn Hoddle. Again Roberts and Miller forward, and O'Reilly as well. Towards Grobbelaar, good safe catch. High above the flying Paul Miller. Rush. And flag was up. Whistle had gone for an offside. Roberts. Half-time whistle. Really not much to be said about it. Liverpool with hardly a serious shot on goal. Spurs have had a couple with Alan Brazil. And that's about the sum total of it. It means that we go in at half-time at White Hart Lane with the score that reads Spurs 0, Liverpool 0. So Liverpool start the second half, attacking the goal to our left, 0-0. After a very cautious first half by them, giving the impression that their minds are very much on that 1 point they need for the championship. Rush. Hoddle. Brazil. And a free kick to Tottenham. It was, well, fortunate for Tottenham, really, that it spun nonetheless to Hoddle. Towards Archibald! Well, you can count on the fingers of one hand, I would have thought, the number of times in the course of a season a Liverpool defence allows anybody as free as that on the edge of a 6-yard area. Hit it powerfully past Grobbelaar, Spurs go into the lead. And now Liverpool will need to come out and be a lot more adventurous than they have been so far. Abbott will take it. Souness. A flick for Rush. Miller watching him, supported by O'Reilly. Johnston's come up in support. And there was Hoddle, and the ball coming off Craig Johnston for a Tottenham throw. Brazil's touch for Mabbott. Ball went for a moment. Lawrence held off, and Archibald is through. Will it be number 2? It is! Well, a smile that says he scored twice in about 3 minutes against Liverpool, and not many strikers in the course of a season can say that. But a mistake, it seemed to me, by Lawrenson, who didn't quite get to that one. And suddenly Archibald is through, and he kept his nerve brilliantly as Grobbelaar came out. Comes for Hoddle again. On the left foot, perhaps, no. For O'Reilly. Half saved by the keeper. And Dalglish trying to bring a bit of order by getting the ball back to Phil Neal. But some lovely play by Hoddle, and there we are again. And here he is again. And what about that? Galvin in, and that time they're happy to concede the corner. Well, Hoddle's cross led to the first goal, and I must say he's blossomed beautifully in this second half. With the corner for Tottenham. Oh, and Archibald got the header to it, but the angle was too difficult. The hat-trick wasn't on, and it's a goal kick to Liverpool. He's helping to bring revenge to Tottenham. They lost in the Charity Shield, of course, to Liverpool before the season started, and 3-0 up at Anfield. That's playing it forward for Kennedy again. And a goal kick. But it's a good strike. Caught it on the volley, and it was a dipper that we've seen often enough, just slipping under the crossbar. It was a good effort. Merriman. Neal away. Hoddle. Driven well, and no doubt he's back to his best after that long layoff. And remember, the game at West Brom last week was the first since that layoff. He really seems to be on song. Offside against Rush. They've never really conquered that offside trap this afternoon with Liverpool. Almost the first kick to where we're now with 15 minutes left. They've been caught time and time again by this Tottenham back four coming forward quickly. Rush and Dalglish, the victims most often. Here's Hoddle. Abbott. That's a fair shot! Abbott raining in a shot there. Hurriedly taken with the left foot, but powerful. Of the 44,000 crowd, they're really enjoying this Spurs performance in the second half. Roberts back. now to O'Reilly. Merriman close, supporting him. Brazil. Merriman again. Abbott's made a run. Model is available. Oh, and Perriman holding on to it too long and losing it to Dalglish, who's got Rush up there with him. Dalglish may want to go all the way on his own now. It's with Kennedy now. Well, Tottenham gave that away in a dangerous area there to Kenny Dalglish. And it'll be a goal kick. Should be Phil Neal's ball, it is. Finding Rush. And Roberts getting it back. Perriman. Played for Gary O'Reilly. Now Galvin. And Houghton up ahead of it. They've looked a more favourable proposition, I think, Spurs, when they've had that man wide out there, Galvin. Dalglish taking it from Lawrence's pass, typical Dalglish turn, and a shot as well, but Clements was nicely placed. And two old teammates, Graham Souness, who of course was here as a youngster before he went north to Merseyside, having a nice little chat there. Why should we spoil that? Oops. And Ray Clements made the journey in the opposite direction, of course. Kennedy. Dalglish. Thompson. Phil Neal. Neal. And now Souness. Balls instead for Lawrenson. Souness once again. Now Hoddle. Archibald. Foul on him by Alan Hansen. And we come to the last minute of the game. Hoddle finding Galvin wide on the right with Mabbott and Brazil waiting in the middle. A deep one towards Alan Brazil. Can he beat Phil Neal in the air? He can. Mabbott's in there. It comes for Archibald. Oh, and he thought a hat-trick was on there, but Robillard was down like a hawk. Don't need me to tell you that we haven't really seen the best of Liverpool today. It was a fairly unnatural, caution-filled performance in the first half, and they've never really got into their stride after Archibald hit them for those two quick goals in the second half. Final whistle. A victory for Spurs. A wait for Liverpool to see what's happened at Norwich, whether they're champions or whether they're not. 2 goals by Steve Archibald put Spurs firmly on the road, up the table towards a place in Europe. A final score then here at White Hart Lane, with applause ringing round this stadium. Tottenham 2, Liverpool 0.
So, when Liverpool got to their dressing room, the one thing they wanted to know is, had Manchester United beaten Norwich at Carrow Road? The answer was they hadn't. It was a draw. So, even though Liverpool had lost on the day, they were the champions for the 14th time. The Spurs manager, Keith Birkinshaw, duly obliged. He took them champagne. But at first, I'm told Liverpool were in no mood to drink it. That defeat at Tottenham really had rankled them. They knew they hadn't played well, and I think that says a lot about their attitude. But what a day it was for Phil Thompson, recalled to the side and Liverpool through and through. And of course, so many of his greatest moments have been with the Liverpool manager, Bob Paisley.
But my funniest story about Tim was when we had a young lad Liverpool, Brian Kettle, and he was a bit getting him down about, you know, he's not getting a game or anything. So he says, I'm going to see the boss. So he walks in, he says, can I have a word with you? Yeah, sure, son, sit down. So he says, I want to know what my future is at this club. And he said, bloody hell, son, who do you think I am, Patrick Moore? So it's brilliant, things like that, so quick and everything. He's an amazing man.
And even allowing for the fact that you've had these 2 defeats and so on, and it's a little bit of a damp screw until you've won the championship, it's still going to be a hard act to follow next year, isn't it?
It always is. People are saying what motivates you, but it's winning things what motivates you. You see what it's like. We went to Wembley, great game versus Manchester United, and it's the atmosphere. And if that's not enough to G you on, what is? You know, you won the championship again. And I still get the same enjoyment. I know, don't look too happy now. I still get the same enjoyment out of it, the same kick, and I've won 7.
So 7 championships, Phil. I mean, is that a record?
Yes, it is. It's a very proud record as well. You know, I started way back in 72-73 season. And as I said before, I enjoyed every one of them. But I'm really pleased because it's with the one club and the team I've always loved, which makes it that little bit better. And it's a record that I hope I can keep, as I say, and maybe improve on it and give my son something to remember when he gets older. And he'll be in the record books for good. But there's only maybe a Liverpool player who could overtake me. But I hope not.
7 championship records, that'll take some beating. Liverpool then right at the top. They go into the European Cup next year. Now, if Manchester United to beat Brighton and win the FA Cup, they would, of course, go into the Cup Winners' Cup, leaving 4 places, if you're following me, in the UEFA Cup. Watford, who beat Arsenal 2-1 today. Forest, who won 2-1 at Manchester City and put City in real trouble. Villa, who thrashed Stoke 4-0. And Spurs, well, they must be the teams at the moment in the driving seat for those UEFA Cup places. Well, coming up next, goals from all directions. Sunderland against Birmingham, Southampton against Luton, and 12 of the best from the big match this season is coming up after the break. Welcome back. Now that major cup final story from Jim.
Yes, Brian, it is a big story and an unfortunate one as well, because tonight all the signs are that the Brighton skipper, Steve Foster, is out of the FA Cup final against Manchester United on May the 21st. Foster booked for dissent at Notts County, and that offence takes the England international past the 31 disciplinary points mark. Really, the leadership and defensive consistency of Foster has been a major factor in taking Brighton to Wembley for the first time. His absence will be a huge setback to Jimmy Melia's side. Well, with a fortnight to go to the end of the season, 7 clubs are still involved in the relegation issue at the bottom of the First Division. They include Sunderland and Birmingham. They met at Roker Park. It was a crucial match with a dramatic finish, and you can enjoy it now with your commentator Roger Thames. Sunderland in white.
Chisholm has come short for it. Did well to keep it going there. James with a chance to cross. Cummins is there, and West, and he scored. Colin West. Handy sides. Blake's in the middle, so too is Harford. And it's a penalty. And there was the push by Ian Munro. And what an important kick this is for Birmingham City. Blake then with the spot kick. And he's put it away with no problems at all. And my word, he's a happy fellow. Here comes the free kick, and Harford has scored!
But who goes up to the First Division with Queen's Park Rangers? Well, that's still very much in the balance, although Wolves must be nearly there now after beating Crystal Palace by 1-0. Andy Gray's goal means 2 more points and up go Wolves. Some relief, I suppose, for Fulham, who are faltering a bit tonight after another away defeat. 2-1 at Sheffield Wednesday. Mick Lyons, in fact, getting the winning goal in the last minute. But Leicester, Fulham's only genuine rivals now, could only manage a goalless home draw with Bolton. But Queen's Park Rangers still on course for the title, despite a 1-0 defeat up there at Carlisle. But what an important match it's going to be at Loftus Road on Monday when it's Queen's Park Rangers against Fulham. Looking down to the bottom, 3 London clubs are still in trouble. Charlton beaten at home last night, Palace a point behind them, and Chelsea still in those relegation places after a 1-1 draw with Rotherham at Stamford Bridge. But with only a 5-point difference involving the bottom 9 clubs, well, it seems certain that little will be decided until the last match of the season. But no worries for Wimbledon, and our congratulations go out to Dave Bassett's men. They're promoted from the 4th Division after a 2-0 win at Crewe. Wally Downs, the club joker, who works before training at the family fruit stall in Shepherd's Bush, set the Dons on their way with the first goal, and Hull will join them in the 3rd. And so Wimbledon and Queen's Park Rangers both promoted, and with a great sense of timing, they meet in a testimonial match for Tony Tagg and Steve Jones. It's at Plough Lane on Wednesday, May the 4th, and the kick-off is 7:30.
Well, we've seen Spurs making a run for European competition next season, and Southampton have the same thing in mind. They came to today's game against troubled Luton Town, having lost only one of their last 13 games. Let's join our commentator Gerald Sinstadt. Southampton are a team in the stripes.
There have been England under-21 caps this season for Mark Wright and Danny Wallace, and they've profited from playing alongside men like Peter Shilton and Mick Mills, both with well over 600 league games behind them. And today, Nick Holmes reaches a milestone, his 400th first-team appearance coming in his testimonial season. And in the Luton side, we have fullback Kirk Stevens reaching his 200th first-team game in a side which today has to manage without Brian Horton, the former Brighton midfield man. So this means that Radi Antic and Wayne Turner both get a game, and they will play together in midfield. And the man on the hot streak at the moment is number 9, Paul Walsh. Notched his 3rd hat-trick of the season last Saturday. That was against Swansea. Followed it up on Tuesday with his first goal for the England under-21 side. In charge today, Mr. Jeff Bray from Hinckley in Leicestershire. Luton Town in the white shorts attacked the goal to the left in the first half. Mark Wright beaten by a little touch from Antic. Elliot Upwell, promising young centre-half whom Luton acquired from Charlton a couple of months ago. There's another of the country's bright young defenders, Ruben Agbula. Matured so much this season. Wayne Turner. Luton, who've hauled themselves out of relegation danger with a run of 4 games, of which they've won 3 and drawn 1. But to feel absolutely comfortable, could really do with winning this one. So there's plenty at stake for both sides. Elliott's clearance, but only as far as Wallace. Oh, wrestling there between Armstrong and Turner. Quite a long while before the whistle went, and Turner seemed remarkably complacent about the way Armstrong had got goal side of him. Armstrong, Hill challenges and wins. Antic. Money. Buller to Wallace. Donaghy, the defender. And the interception by Antic. And a good ball too for Walsh, who actually has to go it alone, but he's a player capable of it. He brings in Moss, and it was as well that Nicol got his body in the way of that. Moss brought in by Walsh, given a good pass from Antic. Moss coming in support, lets the shot go, and Nicol blocks. Swinging corner, and it's gone in, I think, off Agbula. Flew over that knot of players on the near post. And my suspicion is that it hit Agbula on the knee. Well, it was David Moss's corner, and it was always posing problems, and it may well have been that Elliott got a touch there at the near post, and then Agbula running back, seemed to be facing the wrong way, couldn't stop himself, and I think probably put it over the line. Foul by Aylott on Nicol. And an angry exchange of words. Now the free kick for obstruction. And the referee taking the opportunity very sensibly to come back and have a few cooling words with Aylott and Nicol. So Williams to take the free kick. Hit in low. They were unlucky there, they've got it. Mark Wright steers it over the line with a free kick which took Luton by surprise, every bit as much as Luton's corner took Southampton by surprise. Hit in low and hard, just what nobody was expecting, pinged around all over the place, and that was Mark Wright who got the final touch, and Godden couldn't claw it back. Throw in, Wallace will take it quickly to keep the momentum going. In from Williams, White arriving beyond the far post. Stevens concedes the corner. Wayne Turner at the back post. Wallace to take the kick. Cluster of players on the near post. Godden finding it difficult to get through. Wright helps it over. Moran! 2-1. Armstrong gets the congratulations, so it must have been Armstrong who got the final touch. Two of them went together there, and it looks as though it's David Armstrong's goal. Here comes the corner. Cleared the first time by Godden, but he had a difficulty to get there, and then intelligent little lob over with the outside of the foot, and yes, David Armstrong gets the header, and it is now Southampton 2, Luton 1. David Armstrong, 8 goals now this season. Turner. Antich. Fouled by Moran on Antich. Armstrong summons the wall. A long way out. It's going on to 20, 28, 30 yards. They've opted against the hard shot, I think, because Moss has peeled away, but Antich has a go and scores! Oh! Peter Shilton hangs his head, but what a tremendous strike from Antich. The wall can't have been firm, can't have been well enough lined up, as this one skidded right through, and in it goes. Kick now to Luton, and this is, well, can it only be 2 or 3 yards further out than the one from which Antich scored, and he's standing over this one with different thoughts in mind. This time it's Moss, and he hit the post, and now Aylott, and Shilton saves. David Moss, who left the previous one to Antich, for Antich to score, came into this one and really drilled it. Hit the post, and the return shot saved by Shilton. Southampton's free kick this time. Steve Williams will take this one. Wallace's header, very deliberate, just wide. Under no pressure, just wide. About a... Chased by Baird and Elliott. Elliott made the decisive contact. Shaping for another of those long throws onto Wright's head. Donaghy, then Antich. Now it's Armstrong for Southampton, to Mills. Good header by Moran, but wide. Spring from a standing jump. try by Steve Moran, but took the ball wide. And now David Puckett will come on for Southampton in place of Ian Baird. Striker for a striker. Wallace, and in the end Stevens had the last word, timing his challenge to concede the corner. Looked as though Wallace was getting away from him. Good corner at the near post, and Stevens' header, and then Armstrong, and somehow Godden got his body in the way. Armstrong thought he might have been in for his second goal of the game there. Good header from Stevens that didn't get the ball clear, and just an arm struck out by Godden that saved the day for Luton. But another corner. Wallace. Holmes. And Armstrong was coming in at the far post, but Goodyear kept him out. Another corner, more pressure. Williams to take this one. Difficult one again for the keeper, who punches. Back in from Holmes, and a magnificent save this time. Tony Godden palming that one over his bar. What a good shot it was from Holmes. Ball came out to him from the clearance, and the goalkeeper flings up a hand. So that's two good saves in quick succession from Tony Godden. And another corner from Steve Williams. More problems for Godden. This time his punch is helped further out, but Akbula will try and return it. Mills once again lurking, as he does so astutely over there. Hanging cross, which Wright seeks to get under. Williams is there. That hit Wallace, I think, and so it'll be a goal kick, and it is. Good jump and a good save by Shilton. A-Lot robbed by a very good save by the Southampton keeper. But the pressure is still on. Holmes should clear it now. Straight to Luton. Hill, can he wriggle his way through? Wright stops him. Armstrong is there, and Akbula clears. But Shilton was the hero of that. Good deep cross from the right, and A-Lot got up to it and met it well with his forehead. And Shilton was virtually knocked off balance by the save. Wallace jumping, then got a foot to it. Puckett over Godden, off the bar. Back in by Holmes, and out by Stevens for a corner, and Luton escaped. Seemed certain that there'd be a goal there. Puckett's header over the goalkeeper, back off the bar.
2-2 the final score there, and what a dogfight at the bottom now. Any three from the bottom seven, in fact, could go down, obviously with Swansea and Brighton the favourites for the drop. We have to point out again, of course, Manchester City's plight. After their defeat today, they've played more games than the others. They've only two left now, and believe it or not, away to Brighton, and then on the last day at home to Luton, and that's what you call a dogfight. Well, our last action, really, it's an appetizer for our Golden Goals competition, which starts here next week. Tonight, we're just going to show you the best 12 of the season. You don't have to vote or do anything. All you have to do is sit back and enjoy them. So, here we go.
Goal A is by John Chidozie for Notts County in their game at Luton.
Goodwin might have helped keep Brian Horton quiet, but he hasn't done too much himself. And that's a better ball for Chidozie. Donaghy comes over. That's a great effort. What a goal that was.
Goal B is by Paul Walsh for Luton against Notts County in the same game.
Paul Walsh chases. Michael Small gets into the middle. Oh, he done well. Superb. What a goal!
Goal C by Tony Woodcock for Arsenal in their match against West Bromwich Albion. Ricks. Woodcock. Sunderland outside him. Woodcock and Robson advancing into that area. And Woodcock! What a brilliant goal! Goal D by Frank Stapleton for Manchester United in the derby game against Manchester City.
On chances created. This game is still not beyond Manchester United. Stapleton.
Goal E by Colin Pates. This was for Chelsea against Charlton Athletic. Chelsea in their programme notes talk about it being a mediocre season for them so far, and they will look for a win here today to improve that situation. Good work here now as Walker gets in the shot, but it's charged down. Pates will have a tremendous shot! Goal F by Clive Allen for Queen's Park Rangers against Cambridge United.
Behind him if he was required, but Stewart doing all right on his own. Stainrod. Allen, lovely turn! That was a £1 million goal.
Goal G by Brian Robson for Manchester United against Notts County.
Robson reflecting the confidence in Manchester United's display. So too Moses, and the referee quick to make sure that he could avoid any tangle with Mayer. Muran. Robson wants it early. Brilliant goal!
Goal H by Steve Moran for Southampton against Norwich.
Pushing it into the path of Williams, who's got a lot of space to exploit, running up Walford and going past him, and bringing in Moran. Moran turns downs and gets number 4.
Goal I by Gordon Davis. This was for Fulham against Grimsby Town. It's a good ball, finding Gordon Davis. Houghton's right up there with him. The run is on for Davis. It's still on for him. Oh, my goodness. What a goal that was. Goal J by Danny Wallace for Southampton against Nottingham Forest.
Up they both go. Falls in for Wallace. Brilliant goal.
Goal K by Jimmy Case, the semi-final goal for Brighton against Sheffield Wednesday. 3 in the wall. And Case, great drive with the ball! Tremendous! And goal L by Martin O'Neill last week for Norwich at Liverpool.
O'Neill. It's well struck. It's superbly struck.
Well, that's it. Thanks for joining us. A day that has seen Liverpool champions again, even though it finished in defeat at Tottenham. 2 goals in a matter of minutes for Steve Archibald. But what also got the Spurs crowd shouting was the vintage form of Glenn Hoddle. Well, the forgotten man of England let everybody know he's still around. From us all on The Big Match, it's good night to you.
Hoddle. But you get the impression that Spurs aren't in a mood to be trifled with at the moment. Hoddle. Superb ball there for Galvin. And a corner. Comes for Hoddle again. Onto the left foot, perhaps no. For O'Reilly. Half saved by the keeper. And Dalglish trying to bring a bit of order by getting the ball back to Phil Neal. But some lovely play by Hoddle, and there we are again. And here he is again. And what about that? Galvin in, and that time they're happy to concede the corner. Towards Archibald!